So guys, finally, after so long of asking and waiting, Blue Lock Rivals is about to get something we've all wanted. MVP emotes. Yes, you heard that right. Actual MVP animations that trigger when you finish a match. These are the kinds of features that have been in other Blue Lock related games for a while, and now Rivals is finally catching up. It's a small detail on the surface, but trust me, this is going to change how people feel about finishing matches. And not only that, we also are having 3 new reworks, but before we go further, I just wanted to say, if you are interested in my content, don't forget to like this video, and of course, subscribe to my channel. It honestly giving me a lot of boost and motivation to make daily videos just for you guys, so thank you in advance, let's go. So yeah, about MVP animations, think about it. Right now, when you win or when you carry a game, there isn't really a satisfying payoff. You just see the scoreboard, maybe you flex the stats, but it ends there. MVP emotes are the missing piece. Imagine hitting a clutch awakening goal, then the match ends, and boom. Your style pulls out a unique animation just for being MVP. It's a flex, it's a reward, and it's exactly the kind of hype moment the game needs to keep people grinding. Other games already have this system and it works perfectly. Now Rivals is doing it, and the community is already buzzing. But that's not all. Alongside these MVP emotes, we also got a new set of polls today from the devs, and this time they're about reworks. And not just one rework, but 3 potential reworks that are all basically confirmed in some form. The poll itself was framed like, which rework do you want to see first? But the way it's written makes it clear that all 3 are happening sooner or later. So let's break it down. The first winner, no surprise here, is Don Lorenzo. We've talked about him in so many videos and the hints have been stacking up for weeks. Now it's basically confirmed he's next in line. The poll literally had his name, plus rework, add secret awak, make better against new style. That's word for word how it was written. So what does that mean? Add secret awakening is obvious. Every generational and world class is supposed to have one eventually, so Lorenzo getting his makes perfect sense. But the interesting part is, make better against new style. What does that mean exactly? I think it's the devs acknowledging what a lot of players feel. Lorenzo has been power crept. He's supposed to be a defender style, but against these new flashy offensive styles like Livigno, Bunny, or even Loki before his nerfs, Lorenzo just gets bypassed too easily. His whole identity is being the wall, being the defender who shuts down strikers. But right now, he doesn't do that effectively. Meanwhile, striker styles like NEL Nagi are stealing balls better than actual defenders, which makes no sense. So when the devs say, make him better against new style, I read that as, we're going to give Lorenzo the tools to actually counter these flashy attackers without making him unfair, because nobody wants another Nagi situation where one button ruins the game. But giving Lorenzo a real identity as the generational defender? That's exactly what needs to happen. Now, I'm not going to make an entire video just on Lorenzo until we see sneak peeks of his new moves. I've already made plenty of Lorenzo rework videos and I don't want to just repeat myself. When we see animations or actual gameplay previews, then I'll go deep again. But for now, it's enough to know. Lorenzo is confirmed. His rework is coming and it's going to be big. The second place option in the poll, and honestly one of the most surprising, was NEL Chigiri. Yes, you heard that right. Chigiri is finally on the table for a real upgrade. The poll description literally said, add the NEL stuff plus promote. What that means is they're planning to merge his NEL version into his current style, and then promote his rarity upwards. Right now, Chigiri is sitting at a lower rarity. Rare, the blue one. And let's be honest, nobody is really running those rarities, and saying by those, I mean anything lower than Mythic. Nobody is playing with these styles anymore. Once you've played long enough, everything below Mythic just feels like filler. You almost never see people queue into a match using a rare style. That's why this is exciting. The devs are basically saying, we're going to promote Chigiri out of irrelevance. If they add the NEL mechanics, his refined sprinting, his better field awareness, maybe even a new awakening scene, and then bump him up to legendary or mythic, suddenly he's back in the conversation. Personally, if I had to pick, I'd even argue he deserves mythic. because his whole identity is speed, and speed is one of the hardest things to balance correctly. If they nail it, Chigiri could actually become a top-tier pick, and that's something the game badly needs. Right now, too many rarities below Mythic are ignored. If Chigiri becomes the first example of yes, even lower rarity styles can be revived, then maybe more old styles will get the same treatment. Third place in the poll was Aiku. Now, Aiku is the most obvious rework target of them all. The poll literally just said, everything in general. Which basically means full rework, and honestly, that's exactly what he needs. His previous rework was one of the most disappointing in the game. Instead of making him a real defender powerhouse, they gave him goofy moves that didn't fit his lore, animations that felt like they were ripped from Roblox Studio, and a playstyle that nobody wanted. Even now, he feels clunky, outdated, and completely forgotten. But this time, I think it'll be different. The devs have been way more transparent lately. They're dropping polls left and right, asking for community input before locking things in. And with Aiku, everyone agrees. He needs a true rework. His steals should feel sharp, his field control should feel oppressive, and his awakening should actually look like something worthy of Blue Lock. If they deliver on that, Aiku could finally return as a legitimate pick instead of a meme. So to recap, MVP emotes are coming, Don Lorenzo rework is basically locked in, NEL Chigiri is finally going to get promoted and become relevant again, and Aiku is getting a full rework. That's 3 huge style changes on top of a brand new feature. And honestly, this feels like one of the healthiest directions the game has taken in months. Now let's zoom out a little and talk about why this matters so much. For too long, Rivals has had this problem where only the top rarities matter. Generational, world class, maybe a few mythics. Everything else just gathers dust. That kills variety, and it makes new players feel like they have to grind or spend money just to matter. By promoting styles like Chigiri, by making defenders like Lorenzo and Aiku actually viable, the devs are broadening the roster. Suddenly, you can run more than just the same 4 styles every match. That's healthy for the meta, it's healthy for the community, and it's exactly what this game needs to survive long term. And when you pair that with MVP emotes, you get a complete package. Not only are the styles being fixed, but the game is also adding personality and flair. Winning is going to feel better. Grinding is going to feel better. And that's how you keep people logging in day after day. So yeah, that's my breakdown of everything coming up. MVP emotes, 3 major reworks, and the possibility of finally fixing some of the most frustrating balance issues in Rivals. Don Lorenzo, NEL Chigiri, and Aiku are all about to get their shot at redemption, and honestly, I can't wait. But as always, I want to hear your thoughts. Which of these reworks are you most excited for? Do you think Lorenzo can finally become the defender he's supposed to be? Do you think Chigiri deserves to be promoted all the way to Mythic? And will Aiku's full rework finally fix his problems? Or is he doomed to stay irrelevant? Drop your opinions in the comments, because this is one of the most important sets of changes we've had in a long time. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow.